Good morning and warm welcome to you all. I am Vaibhav, your host for today. Our topic for today is workplace safety, general awarenesses, and familiarization with OHSMS Management System. It shall be taken by Mr. Umesh Tiwari sir. He shall cover about ISO 45001, PDCA cycle, familiarization with OHSMS Management System, followed by question and answer session. Our agenda for today is virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria, invoking the blessing of deity, chanting of Gayatri Mantra, introduction of speaker, presentation by Mr. Umesh Chandra Tiwari, question and answer session, and last closing session. About Sadgun Sangh. Sadgun Sangh conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with the mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadgun Sangh is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. About Dr. Sundar Kataria, designation and organization, Chairman and Managing Director, International Certification Services Private Limited. Academic qualification, Doctorate in Business Management, Mechanical Engineer. His experience are Rajasthan Atomic Power Project, India's first nuclear power plant, RAPP, at Rawat Kota, built by Indian engineers. Worked as nuclear scientist for 11 years and successfully completed and commissioned the plant. Engineers India Limited, first batch of engineers to develop Bombay High Offshore Oil and Gas Fields, Mega Offshore Complex Platform, trunk and submarine pipelines, underwater inspection and indigenization oil and gas equipment, etc. Det Norsec versatile, world largest classification society, worked for 17 years at various capacity for the certification of fixed offshore installations, submarine pipelines, onshore projects, and personnel qualification. ICS, he is founder of India's first certification conformance assessment body established in the year 1999, provider of total quality solution, certification of management system, ISO, inspection, testing, and training qualification of personnel. Achievements and awards, receive Lifetime Achievement Award for the contribution for the corrosion technologies from NES International by NIGIS under NES USA, social worker, protection of life, asset, environment, and safety. So now I request Dr. Kataria sir to please virtually inaugurate the session.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. Introduction of our today's keynote speaker, Mr. Umesh Chandra Tiwari, designation and organization consultant. His academic qualification B.Tech, followed by lead auditor of QMS, EMS, and OHSMS. His area of specialization and experience are conducted over 150 plus surveillance audits and certification in QHSE, providing consultancy over 200 plus companies. QEHSC manager at Messrs. ZCZ Industrial Private Limited, Greater Noida. Freelance IMS lead auditor, trainer, technical consultant, quality engineer at Messrs. Shriti Machineries Private Limited. Technical executive cum QMS lead auditor at Messrs. Elite Certifications Private Limited at Noida. So please welcome Umesh sir. Over to you, sir. Hello, Umesh sir. I request everyone to please be there. There is some technical error at sir's place, so he will join within 2 minutes.
Hello. Yes, I'm audible to all.
Yes.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry for the convenience. I am actually having some issues with my laptop. That's why I got it late. Uh, Mr. Babu, during the session, just I request you that you have to share the PPT because I have some technical issue with my laptop. Right, I just got some issues within 10 minutes. I'm not able to sign in from my laptop. Just I have signed from my mobile. Is it clear? Babu, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Just I have just once I have to finish my introduction. Then you have to start the slide as I have sent you on your WhatsApp. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to our webinar on workplace safety and familiarization with ISO 45001 Occupational Health and Safety OHS Management System. Myself, Mr. Umesh Chandra Tiwari, working as a lead editor, trainer, and technical consultant from last 10 years. I have also have the broad experience for the industrial exposure as well as for the auditing, consultancy, and certification also. I have worked with various manufacturing industries as a quality engineer and as a production engineer in different type of industries like health and safety and production of automobiles, etc. Today, I am honored to be a speaker here in the ICS certifications. First, I would like to thank to ICS Technology for hosting this event and making it possible for me. Today, I will explore the importance of the workplace safety, the benefit of implementing ISO 45001, and practical strategies for the integrating this international standard into your organization. I am confident that you all participate will get the most out of the courses by fully joining the webinar upcoming today. During this approximately 1 hours or 1.5 hours of the session, I will cover introduction to the workplace safety and its significant, how you will work safely in your organization, what will be the motto and what will be the purpose of workplace safety and what is the importance of workplace safety. And I will overview for the ISO 45001 OHS Occupational Health and Safety Management System also, in which you will familiarize with the workplace safety and ISO 45001 Occupational Health and Safety Management System, what is the relation between both and how you can implement the ISO 45001 standard in your organization, in your general life. And I will also explore the benefit of the ISO 45001 and how you will implement the documentation and system management system in your organization. And after attending the whole 1.5 hours of sessions, then you will be able to find out understanding the importance of workplace safety and its impact on the organizations, how you will manage the organization, how you will identify hazardous risk analysis in your organizations, and how you familiarize yourself with ISO 45001 requirement and structures. Means also I will relate the workplace safety topic with the ISO 45001 standard, how you can familiarize both of this. And also you have to learn how you can integrate the ISO 40001 into your existing management system, whatever you are following. Maybe you are following in your organization like ISO 9001 QMS quality management system or EMS environmental management system 14001. Then how you can integrate this one. Now let us get started with the AHS training, Occupational Health and Safety Management System. In this session, I will cover occupational health and safety, ISO 45001. What is the ISO 45001 for? How you will explain the PDCA cycle? What is the health and safety familiarization with ISO OHS 45001 management system? Now, yes, just change the slide, Vaibhav. Okay, yes. Now, health and safety in the workplace are the number one concerns of most business, yet still deaths and injuries occur. Like ISO 45001 set the minimum standard of the practice to protect employees worldwide. According to the International Labour Organization ILO, this is the International Labour Organization working. There are currently more than say 2.78 million deaths a year. Means whenever you observe during the working in any organization or any hazardous activity, there is a 2.78 million deaths per year as a result of occupational accident or work related disease. In addition to 374 million non-fatal injuries and illness. Aside from the enormous impact on families and communities, the cost of business and economy is significant of ISO 45001. Also, occupational health and safety management system requirement with guidance for use in the world's first international standard for occupational health and safety (OHS). It provides a framework to increase safety, reduce workplace risks, and enhance health and well-being at work, enabling an organization to proactively improve its OHS performance. Here you have just seen that what is the importance of implementing the workplace safety management system in your organization. What is the death rate of the employees in any organization? Means approximately 2.78 million deaths per year. Means this is very important to implement the workplace safety features in your organization as well as in your life. Because if you are safe, then your family also will be free from your side, and you are totally dependent. Your family is totally depends on you, your safety, your health. That's why first you have to observe, you have to fix your safety, then you have to work. Now, what is the ISO 45001 for? Please change the slide, Vaibhav. Yes. Who is the ISO 45001 for? ISO 45001 applicable to all organizations regarding of size, industry, or nature of a business. Means what is you are working in your organization, you can implement ISO 45001 in any type of organization as well as in your daily beginning life also. Like if your organization is working with the ISO 9001 and you are working with the production industry or manufacturing or any construction site, all you can cover in ISO 45001. You can implement the ISO 45001 as well as workplace safety in any type of organization. This is not that if you are taking only the ISO 45001 standard of management system in your organization, then only you can implement this one. Not like this. You can implement ISO 45001 in any type of industry. Okay, it is designed to be integrated into an organization's existing management process and follow the same high level of structure as other ISO management system. Means this is also integrated. You can integrate this one with any type of any type of standard like QMS, quality management system, or with the ISO 45001 environmental management system. With the any type of organization or any type of standard, you can integrate ISO 45001. Now, please change the slide, Mr. Bebo. Then I will teach you how does it differ from the OHS standard. Means in the past standard, you can maybe your organization applied for the 18,001. That was the OSHA's Occupational Health Safety Management System in the OSHA's 18,001. Recently, in the 2018, ISO 18001 is changed to the ISO 45001 2018. The main purpose of the changing the 18001 from 2000 18001 to the 45001 is the main purpose is that you can integrate the standard with other standard like with the ISO 9001, with the ISO 14001 or any other management system standard. You can integrate this one. Occupational health and safety management system, the international labor organizations ILO is the international labor organization OSH 2001 guideline and various national standard, and is consistent with the ILO's international labor standards and conventions developed under the ISO system. With the input of experts from more than 17 countries, it provides an international framework that takes into account the interactions between the organization and its business environment ISO 45001 adopt a risk-based approach also, ensure it is effective and undergoes continual improvement to meet the organization's even changing context. In the ISO 45001, you have to go implement for the like the HERA, hazard identification and risk analysis. This one is the main topic in the ISO 45001, which will cover mostly all the fields of your work related safety. Means if you are going to work in any particular workplace or any organization or any locations, then first you have to implement the HERA, hazard identification and risk analysis. What is the hazard related to that workplace? How you will identify that type of hazard related to that workplace, and how you will implement that hazard, and what the procedures you have to follow for the HERA, hazard identification and risk analysis. Further, this may be any all the companies have the safety officers that will guide you how you will work and what the process and what the procedures you have to follow during the work in the organizations, during working at the any site that may be risky, are the procedures you have to follow. But in the brief explanation, I have to take some time for the hazard identification. That's why here I am covering just topic. I can't explain briefly what is the hazard identification risk analysis. Whenever I have to complete all these things, that it may take approximately 4 to 5 days. That was why I am here considering only the main points. What the points you can focus, and what the points you can in the future you can read from yourself also, or maybe you can take the help from any another certification body or any consultancy. Now, what is the benefit for my business? Whenever I will implement the ISO 45001 in our organization, what will be the benefit for that? Like the PPT I am explained, ISO 45002 enables organizations to put in place an occupational health and safety OHS management system. Also, the OHS will help if you are implemented the OHS in your management system, then you can manage their OHS risk and improve their occupational health and safety performance by developing and implementing the effective policies and objectives. Means whenever you will follow the OHS guidelines, OHS standard, then you have to complete the what on what policy you have to work, what objectives you have to follow. The key potential benefit from use of the standard include like reduction of workplace incident. Whenever you follow the rules and regulations as per the guideline, as per the standard, then you can reduce the workplace incident. You can reduce the absenteeism of staff turnover, leading to increased productivity of your organization also. You can reduce the cost of insurance premium of your organization also. Creation of a health and safety culture in your organization, wherever employees are encouraged to take an active role in their OHS management system. Reinforced leadership commitment to proactively improve OHS performance, ability to meet legal and regulatory requirements, and enhance to reputations, improve the staff morale. All the things you can also judge from yourself. Also, all over the things you can increase within your organization whenever you're implementing the occupational health and safety management system. Like if you are going to take the certifications from any certification body, then whenever any third party auditor will come to your organization, then also they will give many observations regarding to health and safety. And also in yourself you will also implement the system, the legal requirements, like if your company are working without any consent, without taking any consent from the government, like the pollution, like the consent from the pollution control board, and also like the consent from the fire department, then also you have bound to take the all these consent if you are going to follow the OHS management system. The main benefit will be the preventing injury and harm to the health, increase more moral and participations by workers. The company enhances its image, reduced operating costs, and reduced criminal and civil liabilities also. Yeah, Bebo, please change the page. Then in that way you can take the benefit from the ISO 45001 as well as by implementing the health and safety management system in your organization. The workers' health, improved health, and also the preventing the injury and harm to the health, increased moral and participations by workers. The company enhances its image, reduced operating cost, also reduced criminal and civil liabilities, protecting public health and the environment. How you will protect the public health and environment? Like if you are taking the consent from the pollution control board, then you will produce less pollutions from your organization, from your company. Then in that way uh, you can help to the your neighbors, your environment. Also, if you are like you are taking the uh, NOC from the fire department, then also you will follow all the rules and regulations by the fire department. Maybe in case of fire, in case of any unhappening, you will manage all your industrial activity. Then in that way you can protect your environment and you can also help to your environment as well your neighbors and your all interested parties. Okay, Babu, change to now next slide. Whenever you're going to implement the OHS management system, the first thing you have to follow in your organization is plan to check act cycle. I think all of you are aware about the plan to check act cycle. What do you mean by the plan? What you are need to do to prevent workplace ill health and injuries, and how you are going to do it. In the do what you say you are going to do, and in the check how you will it working, and fix problems and look for ways to make what you are doing even more effective. Now if I am coming to ISO 45001 standard, how you will integrate this PDCA cycle with the ISO 45001. If you will read the ISO 45001 standard, then you will find that there are total 10 classes in the ISO 45001 standard, in which you have to just focus from 4th through 10th. Means fourth class will be the context of the organization. In it, you will read all the things about the context of your organization, how you will manage your organization, how you will manage the issues and interested parties in your organization, what will be the scope of your organizations. In the fourth class, all these things you will manage. After the fourth class, you will come to the fifth class in the standard. In the fifth class, that will be the leadership and workers' participations. What will be the leadership? What will be the use of the leadership or the top manager? What will be the use of the top management in your organization, and how they will lead all your workers, and how they will manage the workers' participations within your organization. Just I once explain what is the about the classes, then I will relate with the PDCA cycle, plan to check act cycle. Just you have to just change the page. Just I have to come to the PDCA cycle, then I will explain this one. Yes. Now, just once you have to finish the fourth class of the standard, like how you will manage your context of the organization, how you will manage your needs and expectations of interested parties, like the your customers, your neighbors, all the what is the needs for this one, and what will be the main contribution from your side. Then what will be the scope for your organization. Also, you have to cover the leadership section in the fifth class, and how the leadership will participate in the workers' participations. Then you will come to the sixth class, in which you have to take the planning section. In the planning section, you will plan the what will be the risk, what will be the hazard at the workplace, how you will identify the hazard at the workplace. Means you have to manage the hazard identification, risk analysis, what will be the objectives for that points. uh, Also you have to define the roles and responsibilities for the leaders. After defining the planning section, you have to go to the seventh clause of the standard, that will be the supports, in which you have to complete the resources you required for performing any type of work, like what the manpower you have required, what the machinery you have required, what type personal protective equipments you have to require to perform any type of work. All these things you will manage in the seventh class of the ISO standard 45001. After managing all these things, you have to go to the operation sections, where you will operate the system, or where you will operate the working conditions of your organization, how it will work, and also what will be the emergency situations, what will be the preparedness for any type of emergency situations. All these things you will learn in the eighth class of the standard of the ISO 45001 operations. After that, you have to go to the ninth class, in which performance evaluations, means you have to conduct internal audit and workers audit, like how they are working, and you have to check the working. And then after that, you have to go to the 10th class of the improvement. Then you have to perform the management review meeting, workers participations meeting. All these things you have to perform in the 10th class as the improvement. Then how you can relate the plan to check act cycle with the all 4th to 10th class of the organization. Suppose that you have planning to work any organization, or any organization are planning to work or establish any organization, like maybe a construction company, or any production company, or manufacturing company are planning to establish an organization with the workers participations, how they will perform all the works. Then in the 4th class, I have just given the explanation how we will manage, how we will take the scope, what type of work you are going to work. Then the leadership of the 5th class of the standard will be the participations of worker and leadership of the management system. And all the 4th plan do check act terms will circulate through the leadership. Means if you take the leadership in the center, then plan do check means planning of the 6th class, do means support and operation plan class, and check means the performance class, in which you perform the internal audit, and the act as the improvement, means in which you will perform the management review meeting and workers participations meeting, you will perform the 10th class. Then in that way you can relate the all the standard of the ISO 45001 with the plan to check act cycle. Means totally you have, mainly you have to focus on the 4 class, total 6 class. In the planning class, 6th class, you have to follow planning, in which you have to plan the risk and hazard identification. And in the 7th class, you have to just to cover the resources and the operations. 7th and 8th, you have to cover in the do class and the do section. And in the check section, you have to cover the 9th class, 9.2, like the internal audit and checking of the performance of the system. And then you have in the act class, you have to perform the, you have to read, or you have to understand the 10th class of the standard, means what will be the improvement. In that class, you have to perform the management review meeting. In that way, you can relate the plan to check act cycle in with the familiarization with the ISO 45001 standard. Means you have to cover all the standards class within this cycle. Now come to the main topic. What is the health and safety? What do you mean by the occupational health? Means any factors that will affect to any employee, or any employee's family, or any organizations, that be the occupational health. The factor, what will be the factor? That factor will be the hazard. Means that's why you have to work on the hazard. You have to identify the hazard. Means Only that the one point is the hazard that will affect your family, your organization, as well your life also. Then you have to just control the hazard. That's why the main important topic of the ISO 45001 is HIRA, hazard identification and risk analysis. In the brief, you have to identify all the areas risk. Like if you are working any manufacturing site, then what will be the site risk? If you are working at the height, then working at any height, then what will be the how work at the height risk? You have to identify the work at height risks, and you have to just come the what will be the elimination for that type of risk. Then what will be the safety? Safety means that will be the free from risk, unacceptable risk, freedom from the unacceptable risk or harm. That will be the safety. And the risk will be the combination of the likelihood and consequences of a specified hazardous event occurring. Means you have to first identify the occupational health, in which you have to cover the hazard, what type of hazard you have to going to face during the work in the organization, then how you will cover your safety, and how you will complete that safety, how you will face that safety with the risk, with the knowledge of the risk. Means total health, what will be the health and safety means no accident, absence of disease and illness, physical and mental well-being, all these things will be included in the health and safety. Next slide. I am come to next slide. What I mean by the safety as the safe. This is the just example for that. What do you mean by safety? One is shape yourself, then accident. You have to cover protect yourself from the accident, from the fire, explosion, toxic releases, and means yourself. You have to save yourself from the accident, fire, explosion, and toxic release, or any hazardous things at the particular point, at the particular workplace you are working. Next, why safety is required? Why safety is required? Safety is required because the industrial production depends upon the some main factors, some important factors like the main material, machines, and environment. If all these factors are protected, are safe, then every company's production bill goes up, all the things bill goes up, and maybe your family also will be free from any type of suffering. Mean that will be the skillful and fit material means sufficient raw material of good quality. This is also required as the component for the safety. Machine, good design and good working order, and environment, proper lighting, good ventilation, less vibration, noisy locations, segregated. All these things will include in the environment. For giving the efficient production, all the above factors should not have any interruptions. Means you have to clear the path of the all these factors like main material, machine, and environment. If the path of these factors are clear, means there is no objection for these factors, there is no risk for this factor, then the production or the well-being of the company will goes up. Means all the organization just focus on these things, how they will manage, how they will reduce the risk relating to that particular factors like material, machines, and environment. Now change slide. Now what do you mean by the accident? Accident is an undesired and unexpected events which may or may not cause injury or property damage. Accident don't happen but they are caused. Means accident don't happen like suddenly the accident is happened. This is caused by the any reason. Means you have just created the reason for the accident. This is accident is not a God gifted things. You have just created the accident caused by creating that type of environment, by creating that type of hazard, by creating that type of work activity, work situations. If you are not considering all these things, you are not taking proper action to eliminate all these hazardous things, then you have to go through the accident. Means accident is a cause, not is a happening. What we mean by the accident and incident also I want to explain in this section. If there is any property loss, any physical loss in any working area or any other conditions of accident, then that will be called the accident. An incident may be any physical or any material or physical loss is processed is there, or maybe there is no any type of physical or any type of material loss. You have to just protect yourself from any unhappening. Means you have to just got to the unhappening, but you have just safe, you have just protected yourself from that type of unhappening, that then will be the incident. Next slide, hazards at the workplace. Yes, hazards at the workplace, like moving parts of machinery. If there is a moving part of machinery, then that will be the hazard. This is the hazards. Yeah, I have got one questions like what is the conceptual difference between the risk and the hazards? Hazard is the any type of activity then like related to work activity, not from the process activity. Process is just created from the process things. Like if you are doing any process in your work like production department or any maybe in any department in your organization, this may include maybe HR department, marketing department, or any type of like quality department, production department. All department can have a risk related to documented risk, related to process risk, related to anything any type of risk that will cause your system effect. But hazard is the directly, this is also generated from the risk, but this is the type of risk that may cause you by the physical activity. Means you have to identify the hazards by physical activity, and that may cause you, that may accidentize you with the any object or any work related activity, not from the process. Okay, hazards at the workplace. Like you will guard the hazards at the workplace from the moving part of machinery. Like if there is a moving part of machinery in your production area or in your working area, and you are not aware of that, you have just not bound, have taken the proper boundaries for your moving parts, and in unawareness you have got close to that machinery, and then you will injured from that type of that machinery, or maybe your clothes or your any clothes are so free from your body, and they also maybe urge with the type of machinery, and then you will get to the accident. Also the suspended load, maybe suspended load is also the hazards at the work activity. And working platform without railing, this is the main important thing is that maybe that is count as the hazards at the workplace. Flying chips, like if you are working at the production area in the grinding sections, or and you are not using the proper PPs like the googles, and then flying chips may be got to your eyes and your guys may injured. Let's say that will be also the hazards. Slippery fruit also be the hazards at the workplace. Like you can slip down with the slippery fruit, then that we also count at the hazards at the workplace. Active movement of eucalyptus and towers also is the hazards. Gases and chemicals, this is the main hazard point in any type of chemical industries. Electrical appliances systems, hand tools, self-acting machineries, all these things, all these also will be counts in the hazards, the main factors at the hazards at the workplace. And objects lying in the passageway. This is the main hazards. Like if you are just working in a company and there are so many things are here and there in the walking path, and just if you got any emergency situations in your organizations, maybe fire or maybe earthquake or anything, then you have to just to go to the emergency gate or exit gate. Then if there is so many objections on the pathways, then that will be the main hazard for the accident. Means before occurring the main hazards like fire and earthquake, you will got the second hazard also. Here I can explain you also the hazard and risk. Like if there is any type of fire or any type of like any type of natural earthquake is there, then that may be considered as the risk. But whenever you are going out from your organization, your company, and there is many objections on your path, then that will be the hazard. Here risk is the system, like the risk is created by maybe this is a natural fires in your organization, or maybe earthquake, that is also natural. But whenever you going to take out from your organization from that risk, then you will got the hazard on your pathway, in the form of different type of objections like materials and all the things are scattered in your path, then that will be the hazard. High level sound is also a hazard. High level sound, like if you are working any type of towers are working at a height, or maybe you are concentrated on your work and maybe there is a many too loud sound suddenly happened, then maybe your concentration and your mind will divert and you will just guard the hazard or risk by dropping from that tower, then that will be the main hazard from that. Also the overhead moving conveyors, all these things are converted as the hazards at the workplace. Next slide is unsafe act. Unsafe act means operating without the permission of the authority or the top management, that will be the unsafe act. If you are working any construction site or any organizations where is there is so many hazards or so many risks, then you have to just start the work by the only by taking the permissions from your safety manager, from your top management. You can bypass any process or any type of instruction given by your managers. Whenever you will bypass any instruction, then you can go to the any hazard or risk. Then, like operating without the authority, bypassing safe devices also will be the unsafe act. Operating at unsafe speed means if you are operating any too high speed, then this will be also considered as the hazard. Using wrong tool or equipment, if you are using any type of wrong tool or any type of wrong equipment in your work, then that will also can cause any accident. That's why you have to just take the proper permissions to use any type of work, or you have to knowledge about the using of that type of equipment or work. Unsafe placing is also converted in the unsafe act. Unsafe loading, like if you are working any dispatch or packaging department, any type of logistic department, and
तो मैंने
just
पहले जीप का थोड़ा सा नेट से देखो कितनी इमेजेस कवर हो जाती है ना, नेट से पता चल जाएगा.
then you have to take proper consideration for the loading of, like if you are loading any vehicle or any workers are loading any vehicle, you have to take the care of that type of loading and what is the height of the loading. All these things you have to consider. Also taking unsafe positioning or posture is also the unsafe act. Like if you are holding or having any object, then if you are in the wrong posture or wrong position, then also you can injure your back pain. You can result in your back pain or anything. Working on dangerous or moving equipments, also a type of unsafe act. Not using the PPs. This is the very important thing. If you are working without using the PPs, personal protective equipment, this is also count in the unsafe work. Also, the harsh playing at workplace. This is also considered. Means you are not giving your attention to your work. You are just working in anything, and your mind is on the another thing. That will be also the unsafe act. You have to just focus on that. Now, next slide. Unsafe conditions. In the unsafe conditions, unguarded or inadequately guarded machine equipments, defective conditions of machines equipment, tool, etc. Unsafe methods of storing, filling, etc., inadequate or incorrect illumination, inadequate ventilations, improper housekeeping, things not at their proper places. All these things will be conditions in the unsafe conditions. Means you have to provided with the proper working environment, proper lighting, the lux value of the light system will be within the control, and unsafe design or construction machineries and equipment also is considered in the unsafe conditions of the working. Now, next slide. Accident prevention. How you will prevent the accident? First, you have to eliminate the unsafe act. Eliminate unsafe conditions and discover causes through accident investigation. Then, in that way, you can prevent the accident. All these things you can cover by the proper identification of the hazard and identification. Whenever you will complete the HERA hazard identification risk analysis for your workplace safety, for your activity, for your organization, then you will all these things, all these control points you will got within this. How you will prevent the accident, how you will eliminate the unsafe act, how you will eliminate the unsafe conditions, and how you will discover cause through the accident and investigation. Now, next slide is about the personal protective equipment, PPEs. It is safeguarding us from the existing hazards which has potential to cause accident. The type of PPEs to be used depend upon the nature of work to be carried out. Means there are so many type of PPEs, but this is depend which type of work you are performing. You have to use the exact PPEs for the exact type of for the specific type of work. Like if you are working in a production department any and you are a machine operator, or you are performing under grinding machine, then you have to just take the safety goggles. The safety goggles is very important because maybe any scattered chips may injure your eyes. Then you have to just use the safety goggles during that type of work of grinding. Hand gloves, what type of work you are doing, like if you are doing the work in the mechanical department where there are many type of scrap, then you have to do different type of gloves. If you are working on the electrical department or electrical work, then you have to choose the electrical gloves. There are so many kind of different type of gloves. Face shield, like if you are working in the welding department or you are performing any welding work, then you have to choose the face shield. And safety shoes, if you are working in any area where there is so large object, any heavy object is there, and if there is the risk that maybe that object may fall down at your legs, then you have to use the safety shoes at that place. And earplugs, if there is very noisy place, then you have to use the earplugs. And helmet is that also, if there is any risk for any material to be fall down from the any height, then you have to use the helmets. And a nose mask, this is also depend upon which type of industry you are working. Like in if you are working any in chemical industry where there is so many pollutions or chemicals, then you have to use the nose mask. And also there are many type of nose masks also. Then your safety manager will decide which type of PPEs you have to use. Okay. Now next slide is chemical safety. Like what type of the safety you have to follow, like if you are working in a chemical industry, and the main risk, main hazards related to the chemical, main hazard related to chemical factory is the storage. How you will store your materials, what is the procedures for the storage of the materials, what procedure you have to follow, how you will identify the area for the storage, what type of safety equipments PPE, what type of safety equipments are you are using in your storage area. There are many type of storage equipments, like you have to take the fire detection equipment, fire extinguishers, or you have to use the fire extinguishers, fire hydrant, fire detection equipment, all these things in your storage area. And also the area should be well ventilated, only authorized entry within that area. You have to just display a board at the gate of that storage, that who is the authorized person to for entering in this premises. And they, if without any proper authorization, no one is allowed to enter in that particular storage area. You have to also display the MSDS. MSDS means mechanical safety data sheet in your organization in that storage area. Display MSDS of chemicals with hazardous signature inside building. It should be stored in cabinet, spill control arrangement, and segregation of empty and fill containers. Also, you have to, like if you are using any type of chemical and you are just put it the chemical in any bucket, then you have to use the one primary containers, and also you have to use the one secondary containers. Means if there is any chances of leakage of the first from primary containers, then also you have to use the secondary containers also for storing your chemicals or any type of liquids chemical. And also you have to identify all the areas which type of chemicals you are using. All the MSDS is displayed and the every particular materials. Now next slide is transport. Next slide, transport. How you will safely transport your material, like if you are using the chemical material, then what will be the procedures for that? You have to just complete a procedure in your organization, and the department head will uh, approve the procedures for that, and you have to take the in the mind for the following points, like the transports in the safe trolley. You have to use the safe trolley for the transportations. Also, you have to update the records after taking from main stock. You have to just update the record in your storage in your store area, and also you have to keep containers in stable positions. You have to check the all the containers, that all the containers are in stable positions or not, because if there is any liquid type of chemical, then there's too many type of hazards if the chemicals is fall down in the ground. In case of spillage of on the way, get the spill collected and disposed of, and inform your in charge. All these things during the transportation of your chemical or your chemical material, you have to take consideration. Now about the fire. How does a fire work? There is a triangle for the fire. This is the fire triangle. Like one component of that triangle is the oxygen, and one component is the fuel, and one is the heat. When all three components are reacted to each other, then the fire gets caused. If you are going to take an absence of any one of the component, then you can dismiss the fires. These three components need all three components to start a fire. Fire extinguishers remove one or more of the components. Means if you are using the fire extinguishers or fire hydrants or any type of fire equipment, then you can remove one thing from that three things, then automatically fire will dismiss. Because whenever the all three component will react to each other, then they will result to the fire. Type of fires, there are the four type of fire. Next slide. Class A. In the class A fire, you have to take the consideration for the wood, paper, cloths, and trays. All these things are considered in the class A fire. Class B fire, flammable liquids, oil, gas, and grease. All these are considered in the class B fires. Class C fire, electrical, energized electrical equipments. All these things are categorized in the class C fire. And in the class D, combustible metals. Combustible metals are classified in the class D. Now, for eliminating the fires, you have to use the different type of fire equipments like fire extinguishers or maybe fire hydrant in any organization you have to use. And how if there is any type of fire extinguisher like carbon, CO2 or ABC, there are different type of fire extinguishers used for the different type of purpose, different works. But for CO2 you can use at any places. Now next slide, how you will use the fire extinguisher. Like this is the picture of a fire extinguisher. Then if you are not aware about the using of the fire extinguisher, just you have to just general information about the using of the fire extinguisher. But in the details, you can use the fire extinguisher in your organization for the mock drill purpose. You have to perform a mock drill within your organization to just aware how you will use the fire extinguisher or fire hydrant working in your organization. You have to just uh, perform a mock drill within 6 months or in a year in your organization from itself. And that way you can check the performance of your all the fire equipment of your fire extinguisher and fire hydrant. And also you can train another persons or you can take the training from any outsource agency. Then how you can uh, how you can use the fire extinguishers and fire hydrants and all the fire equipments in the organizations. General instructions for using the fire extinguisher is first you have to pull out the pins. One pin at the top of the near the gauge. You will see there is a gauge, and at the top of that gauge there is the pull pin. You have to just pull the pin. Then you have to aim the base of the fire by holding the pipe or the handle of the fire, and you have to squeeze the handle, and you have to shift to side to side. Just if you are squeezing the fire extinguisher, you have to take action from side to side. If you are just focusing your target on the fire, you have to start from the side to side. Now, why detect fire? Means in any organization, why you have to detect a fire on the earlier stages? How you will detect the fires in the earlier stages, and why you have to detect? What will be the causes for that if you are not detected the fire at the earlier stages? Like the undetected fire can grow to a large size. If you are not detected any small size of fire, then that can grow to a large size. Also, the undetected fire can cause a backdrop. Toxic emissions from the fire can kill people. Fire can damage property and contents in the buildings and business disruptions. Means all the things have one point that any type of fire you have to detect that one on the earlier stage for the life safety, property protection, and mission continuity. You have to detect the fire, and for the detection of the fire, there are different type of equipments like fire detection equipment and all these things, fire alarm system to prevent the fire. All these things you have to follow within your organization. Further, I will discuss about what will be the benefit for that detection and extinguishers of fire in the early stages, life safety, in sense of security and safety for people, hotel and guests, etc. Fire safety helps in better positioning of company in the global market. Also, reduce the insurance cost, comfort from statutory rules. That is the main benefit. You have to detect the early fire from the early stages. Then you have to comfort from the other state rules, all the government rules or state rules whenever you are working. Next slide. This is the just picture that how you will perform the fire detection and alarm system in your organization. Like first one is the detection devices you have to install in your organization, mainly the fire prone area. You have to install the fire detection equipment, fire detector. Like if you are working, your organization is working on the storage material based, then you have to just must have to install the fire protection equipment in your storage area. Also, you have to install in all the area where the fire is more prone to be caused. Whenever you install the 1 minute, just back to the site. Like you have to follow all the things, all the rules. Once you have installed the fire equipments or fire detection in your storage area or different areas, different department in your organization, then you have to just connect that pre-detection from your security room. This one is the like fire panel. You have to install a fire panel in the security area, and here information related to our department is here given, and there is a fire panel. In case of fire, they can press this button and they can raise the hooters or horns. That's why all the employees of the organization will aware about the fire and they use the proper actions, and the fire or safety officer will take the appropriate action to prevent all these things or prevent any happening. Now, next slide. What is the fire detection and alarm system? An equipment which detect the presence or absence of fire conditions in the enclosure, verifies the fire signatures and confirms the presence of fire conditions by raising the alarm. The purpose of that is that to detect the fire in the early stages, to give warning, to activate automatic extinguishing system. Next slide. Now, what is the use of the manual call points? How they will use the manual call points? The manual call points, which are the installed at the security office or security room. This is actuated manually to raise alarm in case of fire or emergency. In case of fire or emergency, the security guard or security person will actuate this fire alarm manually. This connected to control panel and mounted on wall at height of 1.2 to 1.4 meter from the floor. And weatherproof devices for all outdoor appliances you have to use, and a break glass for type or pull station type you have to install the manual pulse appliance at your security room. Mean that will be the break glass type. You have to install this one at the height of 1.2 to 1.4 meter from the ground, and this is also will be the weatherproof. Now next slide. This one is the control panel. This is a picture of the control panel, or with the control panel, an equipment which receives signals from the detection devices and manual call points. The control panel, second one is the install at the security room that will receive the signals from the detection devices you have installed in your organization's different department, like in the storage, production, or another area. Then the control panel will receive signals from that, and from also they will detect the signal from the manual call points. And after that, they will, after pressing the hooters, they will give the alarm all people. And this is actuate extinguishing devices. Alarm sounders, you have to use electronic hooters or horns, electric bells, and the frequency of the ranges for that will be approximately 5 to 100 hertz to the 1000 hertz, and the minimum sound level will be the 65 dBA, or maybe 5 dB above to the ambient noise level. You have to just observe the ambient noise level of your area, of your locations. Like if you are working in the production side, then there are different type of the ambient noise or ambient level in that. Then you have to just measure the ambient noise level of that type of location. Then you have to just install above the 5 dBA. Next slide. Fire alarm system control panel is installed at main gate. Also, the preferably at the ground floor. You can mainly main the main gate or ground floor, or at the second or the security office. You can install that one. But also, you should not be installed at high hazard control plant. Okay, control panel is the fire alarm system. Control panel is installed at the main gate, preferably by ground floor. Control panels should not be installed in high hazard areas such as LT or HT panel, room boiler, room DZ room, flammable liquid storage, etc. Standby power supply for 48 hours duration in normal condition and 30 minutes in a alarm conditions. Sprinkler. Next slide. Next, yes. Now, sprinkler. What is the sprinkler? Sprinkler system is a fixed firefighting installation. Like you are using the fire extinguisher, that is the also in that way you can install that sprinkle at the wall or at the floor uh, of the your organization of your storage area. That will also work as the water sprinkler, that will produce the water whenever the whenever the temperature is raised from a decided level or a normal level, the automatic that will work automatically and just to prevent fire. Or you can use this one as the fire extinguisher of the normal condition, as you are used in the generally in your organization. Generally, sprinkler system is installed in high fire risk area where firefighting is found difficult. The sprinkler system is designed to control the fire at its earlier stage. Next, this one is a different type of sprinklers. That one you can install in your organization. That is the different purpose. Whenever you are going to install these sprinklers, you have to first decide, or your safety manager will first decide which type of extinguisher you have to choose for which type of activity or for which type of locations. Next slide. Now the hydrant system also used as a fire, as the fire extinguisher is used for the prevention of the fire. In that way, and the hydrant is also installed in all over the organization by using the different type of valves, different type of hoses and nozzles and branch pipes. At the in any type of emergency or fire emergency, you can use the fire hydrant also. Next slide. How to use a fire hydrant? Just you have, if you are going to use the fire hydrant, you just have to perform the uh, work activity or any mock drill in your organization, then you will be more aware about how the using of the fire hydrant. But just I am simply explaining that how you will use. Just you have to open the fire hose box and hold fire hose pipe in both hands. In that way, your hose pipe should be parallel in shoulders and hold the lungs of female coupling. There is two type of coupling. One is the female coupling, and one is the male coupling. Whenever you are going to use that one, you have to just start the female and male coupling, and you have to just run with the hose pipe in, and the hose nozzle is fixed along with the female coupling, and then you have to second imply any another second imply support to maybe branch main and hold hose pipe with the second hand, and after getting permission from the branch main, second implies give to order to pump operator to open hydrant fill valve. Pump operator is open valve slowly. The actual experiment you can do by taking the mock drill in your organization here, because due to the time concern I cannot explain more briefly to this point. Okay, this is all about from my side for the health and safety related concern.
Okay, thank
Now
you,
I
sir, for your presentation and for explaining topic in simplifying way. Now I request all the participants and delegates. If you have any
yes
question, you can unmute yourself and ask directly to the sir, or you can put your questions in the chat box.
yes any questions from you, you can put chat box in the chat box, or you can directly raise your questions. Yes, anyone having any doubt, any questions regarding this today's class, then you can raise your answer on the chat box, or Vaibhav, I think there is no any question. Then then can I close the session, because I haven't got any questions on the chat box also.
अरे वैभव एक क्वेश्चन मेरे को पूछना है.
Yes, sir. Hello, am I audible, sir?
हाँ बोलो. अरे यार वो मैं इनको ये पूछना था कि वही है कि some organizations are identifying only risks, और रिस्क के अंदर वो सब हैजार्ड आइडेंटिफाई कर देते हैं अपने सिस्टम में, बट हैजार्ड यूज करते नहीं है वर्ड, तो वो वायलेशन
Yes,
होता है क्या उसका क्लॉज का, हैजार्ड
हाँ जी
रिलेटेड क्लॉज का?
सर, हजार्ड रिलेटेड एक्चुअली जैसे अगर आप किसी कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी में वर्क कर रहे हो या प्रोसेस वर्क कर रहे हो आप कोई, ठीक है सर, तो वहाँ पे हजार्ड पर्टिकुलरली यूज होगा आपका। बट आप रिस्क अगर आप यूज कर रहे हो तो रिस्क आप एक ऊपर कॉमन थिंग हो गई आपकी, रिस्क तो कॉमन थिंग्स हो जाती है, कहीं भी यूज कर सकते हो आप। बट हजार्ड आप पर्टिकुलर किसी प्लेस या वर्क के लिए हुए जहाँ पे आपको कोई फिजिकल डैमेज होने का वो चांसेस होता है, या हमारा कोई आइडेंटिफाई होता है कोई फिजिकल डैमेज, तो वहीं पे यूज कर सकते हैं हम।
पर हजार्ड भी तो ना मोस्टली, अब देखिए क्रेन ऑपरेशन में करीब करीब सब
यस।
कंपनी में एक जैसा ही तो हजार्ड होएगा ना बेसिकली। मतलब कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है ना, कभी स्लिंग टूटना, डी शैकल टूट जाएगा, मूविंग लोड गिर सकता है, तो वो तो कॉमन ही रहेंगे ना, कोई ऐसा स्पेसिफिक हर कंपनी में तो रहेगा पर बहुत कम
नहीं मोस्टली
परसेंटेज
सर देखो
रहेगा।
क्या है, तो एक ही वर्ड से डिराइव्ड है दोनों, रिस्क है हजार्ड है। बट ये जैसे अगर हम मान लो कोई मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं, अगर कोई सिस्टम इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे हम हजार्ड वर्ड नहीं यूज करते, वहाँ पे जनरली रिस्क होता है। रिस्क होता है कि उसमें मे बी उसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी के भी चांस होते हैं, बट जहाँ पे हजार्ड आएगा वहाँ पे हमारा कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी का चांस नहीं होगा, वहाँ पे हमें बस डेंजर ही होगा हजार्ड से,
अब
बाकी
जैसे
ऐसा कोई
अर्थक्वेक
वायलेशन।
है, मैं एक एग्जांपल लेता हूँ, अर्थक्वेक है ना या फ्लडिंग।
हाँ
तो
हाँ,
फ्लडिंग
जैसे अभी
फ्लडिंग हजार्ड में गिनती कर सकते हैं कि रिस्क में उसको?
नहीं नहीं, वो रिस्क मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था ना कि जैसे आपका अर्थ कोई क्वालिफायर हो उस समय वो रिस्क हो गया, बट हजार्ड क्या होगा कि आपके लिए हजार्ड उससे प्रेजेंट में क्या, अगर आप जैसे आगे बढ़ रहे हो उससे भागने के लिए, मान लो अपनी कंपनी के अंदर हो और आप कंपनी से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश कर रहे हो और बीच में आपको रास्ता नहीं मिल रहा, या रास्ता मिला तो वहां पे आपकी कुछ चीजें ऐसी पड़ी हुई हैं आपके पास देते, तो वो आपके लिए हजार्ड हो जाएंगी उस समय।
तो इसका मतलब सपोज एक गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है, सपोज है ना एक एक्टिविटी, तो गुड्स
जी।
ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में रोड के ऊपर जो भी मतलब डेंजर्स है या रिस्क है, उसको हजार्ड
हम्म
में गिनती करेंगे कि रिस्क में करेंगे? भाई वो इतना बड़ा कंसाइनमेंट हमारा जा रहा है बेसिकली, ठीक है, तो
हम्म।
रोड के ऊपर तो कुछ भी अनएक्सपेक्टेड हैजार्ड पैदा हो सकता है, जैसे पॉट होल होगा, स्लिपरी रोड हो
हाँ।
सकती है, समझे ना, बहुत कुछ
हम्म।
हो सकता है। तो उसको फिर उस तरह के सिचुएशन को क्या मानेंगे, रिस्क मानेंगे कि
सर
हैजार्ड
हो सकता
मानेंगे?
है, नहीं हो सकता है तो वो रिस्क होगा, हो सकता है तो वो रिस्क है, अगर कंफर्म है तो वो हजार्ड है, जो चीजें कंफर्म है वो हजार्ड है।
हाँ, ये डिफरेंस थोड़ा
जैसे
ज्यादा
अगर
क्लियर
गड्ढा
है
है,
सर।
मान लो आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे गड्ढे हैं हमेशा जाना है, तो हजार्ड हो गया, फिर आपके लिए प्रॉपर हजार्ड हो गया। बट आप जा रहे हो, अगर से कोई ओवरटेक कर सकता है, ओवरटेक आपको कर सकता है कोई, तो वो रिस्क हो गया सर, वो हो भी सकता
नहीं
है,
नहीं नहीं,
अनसर्टेनिटी जहाँ पे है।
यस यस, ना ना अभी आ रहा है समझ में, करेक्ट करेक्ट, हाँ हाँ। मतलब जो ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट है जो चीज वो हैजार्ड है, जो हो सकता है वो
जी,
रिस्क है, ठीक है
जो हो
ठीक है।
सकता है अनसर्टेनिटी जहाँ पे है वहां पे रिस्क है फिर सर।
हाँ ठीक है सर, ठीक है, थैंक यू।
Okay, sir, there is a question from Sundar sir. So I welcome Sundar sir.
Yeah, yeah. Umesh Chandra ji, Tiwari
यस
साहब,
सर।
मेरा
यस।
क्वेश्चन था, what we talk about the risk analysis, hazard and all this thing, workplace safety. Now, ultimately, uh, how it improves the working environment? Because working environment at the workplace is most important. Like this,
यस।
we have seen factory areas and if you see this, wherever industrial areas are there. Unfortunately, there are no proper access road. Heavy rains, it gets flooded. Even the water goes inside the a building also. There are a lot of,
यस।
which is, means as per you, it is a hazard. And water gets accumulated, that also breeds mosquitoes and dengue and all these things. Those are hazards are there. But how you relate the working environment with the safety? Because this is,
वर्किंग इन्वायरमेंट।
yeah,
यस sir, actually can you summarize your question in one way? Actually you are just explaining me your thought, not I'm just getting the what is the exact answer you just want from me.
no, no. My question is how the safety, all these hazards and all these things we implement 45,000, how it is going to improve the your working environment.
Yeah, just if you are talking about you have to improve your how you will improve your working environment and how you will improve the how you will manage the hazards. Then, like if you are going to ISO 45001, then first you have to implement the hazard identification risk analysis uh, form. There is a one form in that. In that way, you have to first identify what is the type of activity of your working. If you, whenever you identify the your working activity, then you have to complete range of that risk and hazardous. What type of hazardous are available in particular your particular category in your organization. Once you have to identify all the available hazardous, all the possible hazardous within your organizations, like for example, if your organization is working for any type of construction company, or maybe your organization are working any type of production industry, then the hazard will be different for the different type of industry. Like if you are working in hazard, then like uh, working at the height is the main hazard. Working on the how you will manage the working at height, you have to use the PPs, personal protective equipment, safety belt, and all the safety equipments what the necessary for the working at height. You have to use that safety equipment to eliminate the hazards. But for example, if you are working any production company, like your process is for the mechanical process, you are working on the grinding of grinding of any product, or the pressing of any product, then you have to just PPs to eliminate that hazard. Like you have to use the googles for grinding of any mechanical product, and like if there is any chemical product, then you have to use the proper nose mask and unrelated things related to that particular chemicals. All these things you have to use for the control or prevention of that hazards. And also how you will control that hazards, then you have to decide OCP, operational control procedures. This have been designed for every particular work activity. You have to design a operational control procedure, and on that way you have to control your working environment, your working activity, what type of working is involved in that. You have to just cover in that operational control procedures.
Professor Sharma Saab is there. We can ask him if he can elaborate on this matter.
Some environment of safety. I think today the more focus should be on physical environment and psychological environment. जैसे वो behavior based safety का एक सब्जेक्ट पहले इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था ना, BBS, behavior based safety. तो
Yeah.
बिहेवियर्स अगर वो उनके जो है ना, फॉर एग्जाम्पल नॉट वेयरिंग हेलमेट इज ए बिहेवियर ऑफ इंडियंस, सो नॉट वेयरिंग हेलमेट एंड सीट बेल्ट. तो कई बार मतलब अगर हम स्टडी करते हैं एज ऑफ स्टडीज में, तो बिहेवियर बेस्ड सेफ्टी बिकम्स इम्पोर्टेंट. तो वो एनवायरनमेंट जो है ना, the psychological environment and physical environment both become very important, कि a person who is under stress will likely create more accidents at the workplace, so इसके लिए मतलब वो आई थिंक आजकल नए स्टैंडर्ड में अभी जो नॉट नए मतलब 45,001 में दे हैव पुट, if I am not mistaken, they have put a particular line on the I'll tell you, on the mental health of people also. If mental health is weak, then the chances of accidents of those people committing accidents becomes very high. So environment becomes not only physical environment, it becomes social environment and psychological environment also. और दूसरा
Yes,
मुझे
yes.
हाँ, इनसे ये भी एक पूछना था स्पीकर साहब से कि ये क्लासिफिकेशन करते हैं साहब, बहुत आर्बिट्ररी करते हैं, हमने ये देखा है कंपनीज में. तो इसमें आपका क्या है, मतलब क्लासिफिकेशन जरूरी है क्या? 5x4x3, 3x3x3. वो कटारिया साहब ने भी देखा है कई ऑडिट्स में उन्होंने की बहुत आर्बिट्ररी
सर
क्लासिफिकेशन कर देते हैं.
हाँ
कहीं 9 का फिगर डाल देंगे, कहीं 12 का, कहीं 15 का, अपने मर्जी से ही डाल देंगे.
सर,
और
वो क्या है ना एक्चुअली,
उसको आप वेरीफाई भी नहीं कर सकते ना, वो चीज बड़ी हाइपोथेटिकल है. मतलब हाउ कैन यू ऐसे कि यार ये तुम्हारा 3 का फिगर सही नहीं है या 2 का, तो कोई चैलेंज भी नहीं कर सकते. पर दिखाना जरूरी है क्या ये सब
हाँ
फिगर दिखाना?
सर, एक्चुअली एक्चुअली क्या
या
होता है
फिर मैं सुनिए, सपोज आई एम ए स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री, आई कैन से कि ये मेरे हजार्ड से मैं सबको हाई रिस्क ट्रीट करूंगा और उस तरह से हैंडल करूंगा. समझे ना? आई विल फोकस ऑन ऑल द हैजार्ड्स एज सिग्निफिकेंट हैजार्ड्स.
Yes, yes.
So I don't need to do a mathematical classification,
Mm-hmm.
क्योंकि मैथमेटिकल तो बड़ा हाइपोथेटिकल है, उससे क्या हासिल होता है आप ये देखिए। हाँ ठीक है, एक बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है, मल्टीनेशनल है, ये सब है, उनके पास वो सारे रिसोर्सेज होते हैं प्रोबेबिलिस्टिक स्टडी करने के, प्रोबेबिलिटी और ये सब निकालने के। ये तो बड़ा आर्बिट्ररी होता है ना बाकी नॉर्मल कंपनीज में, कुछ भी लिखेंगे
जी
1
जी।
to 5 में, है ना, आपने भी देखा
Yes,
होगा।
actually I am also agree with you that मतलब अगर आप ये स्मॉल स्केल पे अगर आप काम कर रहे हो तो उसके लिए उसका यूज नहीं है इतना जो एक्चुअल है, बट हमें प्रोसेस फॉलो करने के लिए दिखाना पड़ता है। बट ऐसा नहीं कि वो यूजलेस है सर। अगर आप किसी हाई लेवल इंडस्ट्री की है अगर बात, वो कोई ज्यादा अगर हजार ज्यादा है वहां पे, तो वो जो आपका प्रोसीजर होता है वो डिफाइंड ऐसे होता है कि हमारी कोई भी अगर हजार्ड की एक्टिविटी हो रही है तो उसके कंसिक्वेंसेज क्या होंगे और उसकी पॉसिबिलिटी कितनी होगी। मे बी कोई हजार्ड ऐसा है मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि वो डेली होता है, वीकली होता है, मंथली होता है, वो हम अपने पर्सनल लेवल पे, अपने प्रेजेंट लेवल पे डिफाइन करते हैं कि किस लेवल का हजार्ड है। फिर उसकी रिस्क को कैटेगराइज करने के लिए, उसके लेवल को कैटेगराइज करने के लिए हमारे ग्राफ बनते हैं। अब वो ग्राफ जैसे हम और आप ऐसे बैठ के नहीं बना सकते हैं, वो एक्चुअली जो सेफ्टी के, हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी के जो मेन आपके कंसर्न बॉडीज होती हैं, वो उस पे ग्राफ ड्रा करती हैं कि अगर वो इस लेवल पे जाता है तो उसका क्या पॉइंट्स होगा और उसको हम किस रेंज में रखेंगे, हाई लेवल के रिस्क में रखेंगे, मीडियम लेवल के रिस्क में रखेंगे। तो वो वहीं से डिसाइड करते हैं, क्योंकि वो जनरली अगर हम आप बैठ के कंपनी में डिसाइड करेंगे तो नहीं हो पाएगा। तो वो प्री डिसाइडेड आता है, हमें जस्ट प्रोसीजर देख के और उसकी काउंटिंग लिखनी होती है वहां से, उस ग्राफ की पोजीशन देख के कि हम किस लेवल में जा रहे हैं, वहां से हम उसको डिसाइड करते हैं कि हमारा 1 में जा रहा है, 2 में जा रहा है, 3 में जा रहा है। उसके हिसाब से वो प्री डिफाइंड होता है, बट वो ऐसा नहीं गलत होता है। वो लोग उसके हाई लेवल पर डिफाइंड करते हैं पूरा ग्राफ पूरा ड्रा करके, जो कि हर जगह पे पॉसिबल नहीं होता, तो इसलिए वो सिंप्लीफाइड करके प्रोसीजर प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं। बट ये जास्ती ये कि अगर आप स्मॉल लेवल की इंडस्ट्री है तो वहां पे यूज करना जरूरी उतना नहीं है, बट हमें अगर सिस्टम की ऑडिट हो रही है तो दिखाना तो चीजें वही पड़ता है, बात ये है।
हमने पर सिस्टम में तो ऐसा तो नहीं लिखा है कि भाई आप मैथमेटिकली एनालाइज करो, कहीं भी नहीं लिखा है ना। वो
हाँ
एक
नहीं,
बड़ा
मैथमेटिकली लिखा नहीं है, बट उसका प्रॉपर मेजरेबल वैल्यू होनी चाहिए। ऑब्जेक्टिव अगर आप देखेंगे तो ऑब्जेक्टिव आपका मेजरेबल होना चाहिए। मेजरेबल तभी आएगा कि जब हम रिस्क कितनी हमारी आ रही है, कितनी आइडेंटिफाई हो रही है, तो मेजरेबल वैल्यू हमको देना पड़ता है सर।
मेजरेबल।
ऑब्जेक्टिव के जो पॉइंट्स होते हैं उसमें लिखा रहता है कि आपके जो भी ऑब्जेक्टिव होंगे वो मेजरेबल
ऑब्जेक्टिव
होंगे,
तो
तो ये भी।
मार्क्स देखो, ऑब्जेक्टिव तो लोग जनरली वो भी इस तरह के आपने देखे होंगे 100% मतलब सेफ्टी कंप्लायंस विद लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट, है ना, 0% एक्सीडेंट, वो तो मेजरेबल
जी
वैसे ही
जी।
बना देते हैं सब, है ना।
हाँ
उसी
बना
तरह
देते
से
हैं, बट उसी को फॉलो करने के लिए देखो सर, वो हमारे आपके लिए केवल हमने पेपर पे लिख दिया, भले कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं तो उसको हम कैसे भी करके दिखा देते हैं, बट अगर एक्चुअल में इम्प्लीमेंट करना होता है तो वो हमें शो करना पड़ता है वो चीजें, तो वो हम उसी प्रोसीजर के बेस पे ही शो कर सकते हैं।
प्रोसीजर में अगर कोई ऐसा ही लिख दे कि भाई हम सारे हजार्ड को हाई रिस्क ट्रीट करेंगे और उसको उस तरह से हैंडल करेंगे, सबकी हम ओसीपी बना देंगे, तो फिर मैथमेटिकल की जरूरत पड़ेगी।
सर नहीं, वो देखो हमें बस वहां पे प्रूव कर देना, कैसे भी अगर ऑडिटर आ रहा है तो आप अगर प्रूव कर दोगे कि ये चीज ऐसे है तो कोई इशू नहीं है, फिर उनको भी नहीं होनी चाहिए इशू। बट वो प्रूव करने के लिए हमारे पास इतना ना तो टाइम होता है ना इतना हमें नॉलेज होती है सर पूरे प्रोसेस की, कि जो डीप में प्रोसेस होते हैं हजार्ड के, उसको हम आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें, कैसे ड्रा करें। तो इसलिए वो प्री आइडेंटिफाइड प्रोसीजर होते हैं, हर कोई फॉलो करता है, उसके हिसाब से अपना हजार्ड आइडेंटिफिकेशन कर लेता है। या तो फिर हमारे पास इतनी डीप लेवल की नॉलेज हो, वो उसी को होती है सर जो एकदम उसमें अच्छा खासा ट्रेंड होता है, जो इनके अलग अलग सर्टिफिकेशन और डिप्लोमा कोर्सेज होते हैं, वो करने के बाद में जिसको अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस होता है उनकी एक कमेटी होती है, उस हिसाब से फिर जो वो मैनेज होता है। अब
पर
जैसे
अगर
स्टैंडर्ड ही बन गया, अब स्टैंडर्ड ने
नहीं
जो लिख दिया वो हमें फॉलो करना है।
मैथमेटिकली नहीं किया तो एनसी बनती है, इसका मतलब आपके हिसाब से।
हाँ सर, वो मेजरेबल वैल्यू देना पड़ता है। ऑब्जेक्टिव मतलब ये नहीं कि आपने केवल वो 4 पॉइंट डिसाइड कर दिए, 4 पॉइंट दिखा दिए हो गया। ऑब्जेक्टिव तो आपकी पूरी कंपनी के थ्रू इर्द गिर्द टहलता है।
नहीं,
कोई भी
ऑब्जेक्टिव
पॉइंट
तो
आप,
अलग हो गया ना, ऑब्जेक्टिव तो अलग है, ये तो हम हैजार्ड की बात कर रहे हैं ना। हैजार्ड में तो मेजरेबल लिखा ही नहीं है ना कहीं भी से, उसमें स्टैंडर्ड में हैजार्ड का कहाँ लिखा है मेजरेबल, हैजार्ड
नहीं
आइडेंटिफिकेशन।
हजार, बट वो रिलेट तो वहां से करेंगे ना, क्योंकि हजार्ड आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करेंगे फिर हम, किस लेवल का है हमारे पास में, कैसे करेंगे सर।
नहीं, उसमें ये भी लिखा है कि हैजार्ड्स कैन बी आइडेंटिफाई बेस्ड ऑन पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस, बेस्ड ऑन द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अदर कंपनीज, इस तरह से।
नहीं ऐसा तो नहीं लिखा सर, ऐसा तो नहीं मेंशन है उसमें।
हाँ उसमें, लेकिन मैथमेटिकल तो कहीं नहीं लिखा है। कि आपको वैल्यू देनी है,
हम्म।
लिखा तो आप बता दीजिए
हाँ,
उसमें।
ये नहीं लिखा, बिल्कुल नहीं लिखा ये चीज। और ये एक्चुअली क्या
नहीं
है ना सर कि थोड़ा
आप मेजरेबल वर्ड यूज कर रहे हैं ना, तो मेजरेबल हैजार्ड में कहाँ लिखा है? ऑब्जेक्टिव में लिखा है।
हाँ ऑब्जेक्टिव है, लेकिन ऑब्जेक्टिव डिसाइड ही
नहीं नहीं,
होता है ना
मैं
इन
यही
सारी
तो कह
पॉइंट
रहा हूँ
से।
ना कि ऑडिटर सीधा आके मैथमेटिकल पूछते हैं और कंपनी बोलती है मैथमेटिकल की जरूरत नहीं है हमको, दिखाओ स्टैंडर्ड में कहाँ लिखा है। और ये डिस्कशन इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए है कि भाई ये डे टू डे के आर्गुमेंट्स होते हैं।
हम्म।
आप मेजरेबल मांग ही नहीं सकते ना एज एन ऑडिटर, आप और हम कोई भी जो भी जाते हैं। और जो बड़ी कंपनी वो दिखा देती है खोल के, बताओ मुझे मेजरेबल कहाँ है इसमें हैजार्ड।
नहीं, ये ऐसा तो लिखा नहीं है।
नहीं लिखा है।
हम्म। बट ये चीजें प्रोसीजर अगर हम फॉलो नहीं करेंगे तो हम आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाते, बट केवल
लेकिन
इसलिए हम फॉलो करते हैं।
सुनिए ना, मैं तो आपसे डिस्कशन इसलिए कर रहा हूँ कि जो पढ़े लिखे
जी।
मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं बड़ी कंपनियों के, वो झगड़ा करते हैं ना इन बातों पे। वो कहते हैं बता दो तुम एक बार, और मुझे ये बताओ प्रोसीजर कहाँ लिखा है कि मुझे, हाँ ठीक है प्रोसीजर मैंने बना दिया, ये मेरा प्रोसीजर है, मैं मेजरेबल नहीं
हम्म।
करूंगा, मैं तो सिंपली आइडेंटिफाई कर दूंगा और कंट्रोल करूंगा। बोलो मैं क्या गलत कर
हम्म।
रहा हूँ, सीधा बोलते हैं।
अब सर क्या है ना कि देखो, डिस्कशन करने के लिए किसी के साथ डिस्कशन करेंगे कुछ भी, तो उसका तो कोई लिमिट नहीं होती है। बट जो एक्चुअल में अगर हमें अपने यहाँ पे सिस्टम अगर इम्प्लीमेंट करना है तो थोड़ा बहुत प्रोसीजर लेके चलना पड़ता है।
अरे
और वो
साहब
चीज हम
उनका
पर्सनल
सुनो ना आप,
पर्सनल के बिहाफ पे नहीं लिख सकते हैं।
उनकी आर्गुमेंट होती है कि मैं कागज के ऊपर एक एसओपी बना दूं और मैं फॉलो नहीं कर रहा हूँ, किस काम की वो सिस्टम पे, मैं फॉलो ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ, आपको दिखाने के लिए बना रहा हूँ
हम्म।
मैं तो बता
होता
रहा हूँ
ही है,
ना।
जनरली होता यही है, वो तो सही बात है, जनरली यही होता। प्रॉपर वे में जितने डॉक्यूमेंट्स होते हैं उसको कोई फॉलो नहीं करता, मुझे भी पता है।
आप भी ये बताओ कि एमआर के अलावा कितने लोगों को पता है कि इतने सारे सिस्टम डॉक्यूमेंट है? किसी को नहीं पता
किसी को
रहता
नहीं,
है ये।
अगर पता
लेट अस
करेगा
बी,
तो बैठ के यही करेगा फिर। वही सही है।
मतलब एक आदमी को पता है 1000 लोगों के बीच में उस चीज के बारे में, तो वो कहते हैं मैं
हम्म।
तुमको दिखाने के लिए बना दूंगा, कल कल दिखा दूंगा, लेकिन मेरे काम नहीं आएगी। वो तो सीधा
हाँ,
बोलते हैं।
ये ड्रॉबैक तो है सिस्टम का, ये चीज मैं खुद मानता हूँ। ये चीज हमें एक्चुअल में ऐसी मतलब, लेकिन स्टैंडर्ड ऐसा डिजाइन होना चाहिए कि हमें फ्री होना चाहिए कि हम काम जितना हमारे मतलब यूज की चीजें हैं उतना हम इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, उतने पे काम करेंगे जो हमारे यूज की चीजें हैं।
क्या है कि एक तो हम कहते हैं स्टैंडर्ड बोलते हैं कि दिस इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल, 2 लोगों की कंपनी होगी उसके लिए भी एप्लीकेबल है, 2000 लोगों के लिए भी है, समझे ना।
हम्म।
और दूसरी तरफ वो लोग ये बोलते हैं कि आप हमें डिस्करेज कर रहे हो, ये सब बोल के, आप हमें एनकरेज करो कुछ।
सर अब इसके लिए कोई हम एक प्रॉपर आपको तो पॉइंट
और
नहीं बता सकते हैं।
दूसरी बात
क्योंकि
ये तो सीधा सीधा बोलते हैं कि हमारा जो स्टैंडर्ड है वो प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव नहीं है, प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव नहीं है।
हाँ
ये समझ गए ना, इट इज नॉट ए
It's
सही है,
प्रिस्क्रिप्शन।
बिल्कुल
generic.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही है। वो ऐ नहीं करता जो एक्चुअल में सही बात है कि ऐसा नहीं कि आप इसको टोटल यूज का पूरा एज इट इज यूज ही करेंगे। एप्लीकेबल आपको अपनी कंपनी के रिगार्डिंग करना चाहिए, बट वो
नहीं उसके लिए तो
ऑडिटर
क्या
की
है ना,
तरफ से।
उसके लिए तो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक लाइसेंस ही होता है ना फिर प्रोडक्ट रिलेटेड। अगर आपको
हाँ, उसके लिए तो
स्पेसिफिक
जीआईएस के
प्रिस्क्रिप्शन में जाना है, अब जैसे ऑयल
स्पेसिफिक में
कंपनी में,
जाना है।
ऑयल कंपनी में एजॉब स्टडी होती है, तो एजॉब स्टडी तो मैथमेटिकल करनी पड़ेगी ना आपको।
हाँ,
एजॉब स्टडी
वो हो
में तो
गया फिर
क्लियरली
आपका।
लिखा है, वहां तो आपको जो
हाँ।
भी है उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी सारी चीजें मैथमेटिकली निकालनी पड़ेंगी ना।
Yeah,
जी।
I would like to add two things. जैसे आपने बोला छोटी कंपनी है, बड़ी कंपनी है और कॉर्पोरेट है, बड़ा ग्रुप है, तो उसमें कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वी आर नॉट पुटिंग much efforts, because there if you put efforts, if it's small organization, then you can find out exactly. No? And plus, as per the code requirement, HERA is there, hazard identification and risk assessment. When you have to do assessment, then you have to use some module. No? Without module, how you can assess which is significant hazard?
साहब उसमें है ना, नीचे नोट्स में कई जगह ये भी लिखा हुआ है कहीं कहीं इट मे बी आइदर क्वालिटेटिव, आपको याद है ना एक बार एनपीसी में भी
Yeah,
डिस्कशन हुआ था क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव पे।
correct.
तो कुछ ग्रुप्स ने तो क्वांटिटेटिव किया हुआ था, कुछ ने क्वालिटेटिव किया हुआ था। और उन्होंने आर्गुमेंट ये करी थी कि साहब हमारे लिए क्वालिटेटिव ठीक है, हम छोटा ग्रुप है, हमारे लिए क्वांटिटेटिव की जरूरत नहीं है,
Yeah,
और
yeah.
हम
That is
स्टैंडर्ड में उसको।
that is
हाँ,
correct. Because उनका छोटा ग्रुप है, दो आदमी बैठ के मिलके बना देते हैं, and they can make it qualitative. No, that is okay. No? That is acceptable. Not
तो
necessarily to have quantitative.
हाँ, तो आपने अभी कर दिया ना, सब आंसर दे दिया ना, कॉन्टेक्स्ट देख के ही करना है सब कुछ, मतलब कॉन्टेक्स्ट।
Content based.
हाँ,
ठीक है. Thank you,
अगर
thank you.
अगर आप इंडियन ऑयल में जा रहे हैं तो वहां तो आपको कॉन्टेक्स्ट देख के क्वांटिटेटिव बोलना ही पड़ेगा ना उनको।
बोल नहीं bro. So it's a big organization. A
करेक्ट।
lot of working areas are there. So one has to take care.
और उनके
Thank you.
पास रिसोर्सेज भी है,
तो
रिसोर्स कॉम्पिटेंस भी है, रिसोर्स भी है। लेकिन
Yeah.
एक छोटी कंपनी है एमएसएमई 5-10 एम्प्लॉयज की, उसको हम जबरदस्ती ये नहीं कह सकते मैथमेटिकली तुम निकालो, जहाँ हजार 10-15 हजार इन टोटल, कि वो कहते हैं मैं सारे हजार को कंट्रोल कर रहा हूँ ना, अब देखो मैंने सबका ओसीपी बना दिया और मेरे लिए सारे इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, तो मुझे फिर मैथमेटिकल क्या जरूरत है। तो उस समय आर्गुमेंट में फिर हम लोग बहुत कुछ नहीं बोल पाते हैं। वो कहता है मेरा कॉन्टेक्स्ट तो ये है, देखो 5 लोग हैं और एक प्रोडक्ट है छोटा सा,
Hmm.
वो इंसुलेशन वाली कंपनी है एक वहां पे, वो खाली इंसुलेशन काट के और बाहर भेजता है, तो उसको हम कितना बोले मैथमेटिकल करने के लिए।
Yeah.
तो
जस्ट
सर
फॉर
मेरी तरफ से तो यही है हजार्ड के लिए, या फिर आप जो भी अकाउंटेबल प्रोसेस के लिए बोल रहे हो, तो आप उसका कोई ऐसा फिक्स वो नहीं है। ऑडिटर अगर आपसे डिस्कस करता है तो हाँ, बट ये है कि आपके पास में उससे पर्टिकुलर रिलेटेड ये जो चीजें लिखी हुई है स्टैंडर्ड में, कि आपके पास में उसका प्रोसेस होना चाहिए, प्रोसीजर होना चाहिए, उस प्रोसीजर को आप फॉलो करो, और प्रोसीजर अकाउंटेबल होना चाहिए, बस इतना। आप उसको, अगर आप उसको कन्विंस कर सकते हो कि हमारा प्रोसीजर अकाउंटेबल है, हम इस प्रोसीजर को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, देन देयर इज नो इशू। आई थिंक ऑडिटर को कन्विंस होना चाहिए, इसमें कोई इशू नहीं है।
नहीं,
बाकी
सही
वैसे
है ना।
डिस्कशन पे इस पे कुछ
आप
भी करो सर।
और आईएसओ ने अभी क्या है, जो जो अभी का जो फ्रेमवर्क है उसमें मैंडेटरी प्रोसीजर्स बहुत ज्यादा अभी तो नहीं मांग रहे हैं ना, तो
हाँ, मैंडेटरी नहीं है। जहां जहां पे सेल सेल उन्होंने जहां पे यूज किया हुआ है, सेल का मतलब जो मैंडेटरी है उतने हमें देने हैं।
बस उतने ही देख
जैसे
लेते
सेल
हैं।
बोल
और
दिया, बट आप अगर आप जाओगे उसमें हजार्ड आइडेंटिफिकेशन में 6.1.2 समथिंग क्लास करके जो है, तो उसमें उसने बोला है कि द प्रोसेस सेल बी अकाउंटेबल एंड इम्प्लीमेंटेड एंड एस्टेब्लिश्ड बाय द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देन you can consider accountable means the your process will be accountable means you can account the system, what the risk, what the hazardous you have identified, that will be the accountable। उसने उसमें बोला है आपका जो हजार्ड वाला होगा वो प्रोसेस इंप्लीमेंट करेगी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, स्टेब्लिश करेगी, और अकाउंटेबल प्रोसेस होगा हजार्ड आइडेंटिफिकेशन के लिए। शैल वर्ड यूज किया तो आपको तो प्रोसीजर यूज ही करना है, एंड प्रोसीजर ऐसा होगा कि अकाउंटेबल होगा। तो उसके लिए आप अपनी तरफ से प्रोसीजर सर मुझे नहीं लगता कि डिजाइन कर पाओगे, या तो फिर आप अच्छा खासा एक्सपीरियंस है तो कर सकते हो, बट वो जो हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी का एक वो चलता है अपना उनका प्रोसीजर हजार्ड आइडेंटिफिकेशन का, उसी को सारे लोग फॉलो करते हैं क्योंकि वो वहां से डिजाइंड है। और इतना क्रिटिकल भी नहीं है मुझे लगता, अगर एक दो बार करे तो उसमें तो सिंपल ही है, कोई बहुत बड़ा क्रिटिकल नहीं है।
I think we can move forward. Let's, because discussion will keep on going ahead.
नहीं, सब ये
ओके।
क्वेश्चन जरूरी इसलिए थे ना।
Yeah.
अभी
नहीं
जो
नहीं बिल्कुल।
नहीं, मैंने कटारिया साहब
Like,
को बोल रहा हूँ, कटारिया
yeah,
साहब, मैं आई रिमेम्बर वो जो अभी रिसेंट एक कंपनी का ऑडिट हुआ था लास्ट वीक में,
yeah, I
तो वहां
remember.
पे उन्होंने हैजार्ड का वर्ड यूज ही नहीं किया था, रिस्क ही यूज किया था सब जगह। और शायद मैंने आपसे डिस्कस भी किया था। बट ठीक है, एज लॉन्ग एज इट इज आइडेंटिफाइड वी हैव नो प्रॉब्लम, कि
Okay.
भाई ठीक है ना। तो
हाँ हाँ।
Recently, we did one of the corporate group where we did for head office, and head office is the particular department we did it, who is getting all the information on environment and safety data and quality data, and they analyze and they report to chairman. Now they are again the same problem what you are emphasizing. It was there. They say we don't do anything. Now they told we don't do anything. I said you had to analyze the risk and you have to find out the hazards. Even collecting the data, and you are also again analyzing the data and putting in the format and presenting it to the gist of it or is data to the management periodically. Then hazards are there. How do you say it is not applicable to you?
Correct, sir. Correct. Yes.
So such a situation will naturally, and it is
I think you are free to follow any process or any procedure, but just process should be accountable.
yeah, correct. Thank you. That's good. Yeah, back to our friend Vaibhavji. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Sudesh, sir.
Yes.
So I think there is no more questions, so we can move ahead. So our next session is on 19th October. ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development, integrated management system, that is QMS, EMS, and OHSS, excellence in education management, ISO made easy in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. For reading any of the above book, please contact me, Sushma Tindalkar, on the given contact details. Feedback form. Please register on www.sadgunsang.org and go in your login and give your valid feedback to us. So thank you, Umesh sir. Thank you all the participants and delegates for being the part of Sadgunsang. So now it's time to officially close the session. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Happy Dussehra to all.
Thank you. Happy Dussehra to you.